Bonsoir Afrique, mon Afrique TV, c'est un plaisir d'être ici aujourd'hui à Washington DC pour vous présenter la conférence internationale des hommes d'affaires de 2013 où le président Barack Hussein Obama va prendre la parole tout de suite sur ce podium pour s'adresser aux hommes d'affaires du monde qui sont venus présents ici. Près de 289 pays ont signé présent, sans compter tous les gouverneurs et tous les hommes d'affaires des États-Unis et du Canada qui sont présents à cette conférence. Nous sommes ici à Washington DC depuis 9 h ce matin. Il est 13h moins 15 et le discours du président Barack Obama est attendu dans 15 minutes ici sur ce podium. Nous allons vous tenir informés pour la conférence, mais pour le moment, c'est juste pour vous dire que tout se passe bien ici. Les hommes d'affaires sont en train de déjeuner et de prendre un soubassement en attendant l'arrivée du président de la République. Doudou Téclin Goulé. Pour Afrique, mon Afrique TV, depuis Washington DC, le sommet sera ouvert dans 15 minutes. Restez connectés avec le président Barack Hussein Obama sur ce podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a good time and making the connections that can help your businesses grow. It is such a privilege for me to introduce our next speaker, President Barack Obama. I am proud to call him our president, and I am honored to call him a dear friend. Simply put, the United States has been very lucky to have President Obama as our commander-in-chief for the last 5 years. In my 27 years in business, I have seen the qualities that make a great leader. President Obama has them, all of them. He's a builder, he has sound judgment, he has integrity, he sets clear direction, he listens, he inspires, and most of all, he acts decisively to support solutions that the American people need and solutions that help businesses grow and hire. I've been with the President in countless meetings. He often asks the question, how can government better partner with the private sector to grow our economy and create jobs? Regardless of the economic problem, he drives solutions that resolve challenges. He understood the need to make sure our banking system was well capitalized and an engine of growth. So he took action to set us on a firmer foundation. He understood there was insufficient financing for startups, so he passed the Jobs Act. He understood that 95% of customers live outside our borders, so he created the National Export Initiative, which helped the United States reach a record $2.2 trillion in exports last year. He understood that trade agreements help more American-made goods reach global markets. So he rolled out 3 new trade pacts and has us working to complete the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. He understood the need for American businesses to have a stronger digital infrastructure, so he added 100,000 miles of broadband. He understood that our economy is based on ideas, so we strengthened our patent system to support more American innovators with the American Invents Act. And he knew that people from around the world come to our country to do business and have fun. So he launched the National Travel and Tourism Strategy to bring millions more visitors to the United States.
Oui, bonjour Afrique, mon Afrique TV, c'est tout simplement pour vous présenter cette conférence qui invite les investisseurs et les hommes d'affaires du monde entier à venir investir aux États-Unis. Le message, il est simple. L'Amérique a besoin des investisseurs. L'Amérique ouvre ses portes aux hommes d'affaires, à tous ceux qui veulent venir établir des affaires ici aux États-Unis. C'est le but de ce sommet 2013 qui est présenté ici dans le prestigieux hôtel à Washington DC par le président Barack Hussein Obama qui ouvre le discours tout à l'heure et qui sera suivi demain de son secrétaire d'État à la Défense, par son ministre des Relations extérieures John Kerry, qui va le succéder le jour après. Actuellement, le discours est lu par le ministre du Commerce américain, Madame Penny Prask, qui vient ouvrir la conférence pour annoncer l'arrivée du président Barack Obama sur ce podium et qui dit que l'Amérique reste ouverte à tous les hommes d'affaires. Le président Obama que nous accueillons dans 1 minute. L'arrivée du président Obama sur le podium. Afrique Mon Afrique TV, nous sommes connectés en direct.
Thank you for the kind words, but more importantly, thank you for your outstanding leadership, for bringing us all together today and being such a strong voice for America's workers and America's businesses. I want to acknowledge Acting Deputy Secretary Patrick Gallagher, Undersecretary Francisco Sanchez, and Vinay Tumalapalli, and their team at Select USA. And I want to especially thank all of you, state and local officials from across the country, and business leaders from around the world. As president, I have gone all over the world to go to bat for American exports and American workers. I've been to many of your countries, and I've said that when we do business together and when we trade and forge new partnerships, it's good for all of us. I want more American products being sold in your countries. And I want your companies investing more here in the United States of America. Because it advances my top priority as president, creating good-paying American jobs and strengthening and broadening our middle class. There's nothing more important right now. And I'm here because I want your companies to know, I want companies around the world to know, that I believe there is no better place in the world to do business than the United States of America. Think about it. Globalization and technology means you can go just about anywhere. But there are a whole lot of reasons you ought to come here. We're not just the world's largest market, we're growing. Thanks to the grit and resilience of the American people, we've cleared away the rubble from the financial crisis, and over the past 3.5 years, our businesses have created more than 7.5 million new jobs. Thanks to the tough decisions we've made to tackle our long-term challenges, America is becoming more competitive from a business standpoint. We're reforming a broken healthcare system, and as a consequence, healthcare costs are rising at their slowest rate in 50 years. We've cut our deficits by more than half since I took office, and they keep going down. We've pursued an all-of-the-above energy strategy, and we are producing more traditional energy, more renewable energy than ever before, more natural gas than anyone in the world, and we have cut our carbon pollution in the process. So while the case for doing business in America has always been strong, we've made it stronger. And of course, you will find no better workers than American workers.
Oui, le président Barack Obama qui annonce un mot dans ce discours est en train d'inviter les investisseurs du monde entier à venir aux États-Unis. Il leur dit l'Amérique est un terrain fertile, l'Amérique est ouverte à tous ceux qui sont disponibles et qui veulent venir ici pour faire des affaires. Nous allons nous rassurer que nous allons vous faciliter les conditions d'immigration ainsi que la procédure des taxes fiscaux. Venez, l'Amérique a besoin de vous. Venez, l'Amérique est le pays dans le monde qui est beaucoup plus ouvert aux investisseurs étrangers. Une façon de dire que il n'y a pas mieux qu'aux États-Unis pour faire des affaires. Dans le discours du président Obama ici, c'est une façon d'exciter les populations du monde entier qui veulent venir aux États-Unis faire des affaires, de leur dire vous êtes la bienvenue, venez, nous vous attendons, venez, l'Amérique a besoin de vous, venez, il n'y aura pas mieux que les États-Unis pour vous pour venir faire des affaires. Le président Barack Obama qui s'entretient donc avec les hommes d'affaires du monde et des investisseurs et qui lance son message à travers tous les continents, peu importe L'origine, il a dit blanc, noir, peu importe la religion, la race, le pays ou le continent, l'Amérique a besoin de vous. Venez pour qu'ensemble nous rebâtissons l'économie américaine qui en ce moment est fragilisée. Et il tient en exemple la Chine, dont en principe ce discours du président Barack Obama, c'est ça le message que nous vous laissons écouter une fois de plus.
Today, more Hondas are made in America than any place else in the world. Samsung's betting on America by revamping their plant in Austin, Texas, a $4 billion investment. Siemens is betting on America by hiring hundreds of new workers in North Carolina and putting $50 million a year into training its U.S. workforce. And that's the kind of investment that we've always welcomed as a nation, but the reason for Select USA is we know we can do more. We know we can do better. So two years ago, I acted on a recommendation from the CEOs on my Jobs Council, and we created Select USA to encourage more foreign companies to invest and create jobs right here in the United States. And we've shown that this works. As Penny mentioned earlier this morning, with help from Select USA, the Austrian company Voestalpine is creating 220 jobs in an auto parts plant in Cartersville, Georgia. The Canadian company, Bombardier, is investing more than $600 million to expand its Learjet facility in Wichita, Kansas. ASCO, a Belgian company that makes high-tech aircraft parts, reopened a shuttered factory in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and they're expected to create 380 good jobs by the end of 2015. And the list goes on. And I want to see even more of these success stories told across this country, which means I want to make sure we are doing everything we can that companies like yours want to set up shop here in the United States. And for all the U.S. states and cities who are represented here today, we want to provide you with the tools you need to close those deals and create those jobs. So that's why today I'm proud to announce that I'm expanding and enhancing Select USA to create the first ever fully coordinated U.S. government effort to recruit businesses to invest and create new jobs in the United States. To do that, I'm taking 4 new steps to bring more good jobs to our shores. First, building on the great work that our diplomats and embassies do every day, I'm making attracting foreign investment a formal part of the portfolio for our ambassadors and their teams around the world. I meet with our dedicated embassy staffs wherever I go. All of them are great ambassadors for America, and they're building bridges and connections every day. Well, I want them doing even more to help foreign companies cross those bridges and come here. And as they take on this expanded economic mission overseas, we'll make sure that they've got the support that they need here at home. Which brings me to the second point. Officials at the highest levels, up to and including me, are going to do even more to make the case for investing in America. Now, I already do this everywhere I go around the world, in public and private. I joke with a few American companies that I will deserve at least a gold watch at the end of my tenure from them. I've racked up some pretty good sales. But as a country, we don't always make our case in a coordinated way that links our teams overseas to the right senior officials in Washington. And we're going to change that. Make our advocacy more efficient, more effective, more connected, so that businesses who are making decisions about where to invest are getting timely answers and know that they're going to have all the help that they need. Number 3, we'll make sure that for the first time, companies who want to do business in America have a single point of contact at the federal level to cut through red tape. We're going to help you navigate national, state, local rules and regulations so that you can invest faster, open facilities faster, create jobs faster. And finally, we'll help states, cities, regions across America up their game by giving them more tools they need to compete. from the latest research and analysis to events that link them directly with potential investors. This is a big country, and for a lot of foreign investors, it may be sometimes hard to navigate and figure out what exactly is going to fit the needs of your company. Well, we can help you do that. We can help make sure that state and local governments and regional offices, they're best equipped to make their case. And we can get a good fit. It's good for the company and good for those communities. So, a new focus at our embassies on attracting investment, more outreach from Washington, coordinated advocacy to bring more jobs here, new ways to cut through red tape, and new tools for state and local leaders. That's what an expanded Select USA will mean for businesses and for our partners in U.S. states and cities. And ultimately, I believe that will translate into more good middle-class jobs for America. My number one priority. I will be asking Congress to do its part. A lot of this is coordination. Not necessary to spend a lot of money. It's important for us to do what we do more wisely. But making America even more attractive to investment should be something that everybody can agree on, Democrats and Republicans. We've got to work together to get that done. At the macro level, that means getting beyond gridlock and some of the manufacturing crises that we've seen come out of Washington. Because I assume if you ask any CEO here, if shutting down the government makes them more confident about wanting to bring jobs to America, the answer will probably be no. The notion of not paying our bills on time doesn't inspire confidence. So it's time for Congress to focus on what the American people are focused on and what I'm focused on, which is creating good jobs that pay good wages and creating a good environment for investment. We do need to fully fund the Select USA program so that more middle-class folks have a chance to earn a decent living. We need to make sure that we are resourcing the efforts to make sure that our workers can earn the skills that they need to compete in the global economy. We've got, one of the crown jewels of our education system is our community college system. Not everybody's going to be training at MIT or Stanford, but these community colleges means that we can partner with businesses, help defray some of the training costs, help design with businesses what exactly they're going to need in terms of people getting hired. We got the resources to do it. We know how to do it, but we got to make sure Congress is supportive of that. We got to fix a broken immigration system so that we are welcoming more talented workers and entrepreneurs from around the world. And so the companies are coming here to locate, and they've got a key individual that they need to bring over to make sure that the company's doing what it needs to do, that it's not a tangle of red tape. And the good news is we know we've got bipartisan support for immigration reform. We just have to make sure we get it done this year. We've got to continue to make smarter investments in research and development, education, infrastructure, all the things that historically have made America the most attractive place on the planet for businesses to invest. We've got to build on that success. That's who we are as a country. And we have a tradition here of tackling new challenges, adapting to new circumstances, seizing new opportunities. That's one of the reasons that history shows over the last 2 centuries that when you bet on America, that bet pays off. So, to all business leaders here today and around the world, we want to be your partner in helping to write the next chapter in our history. We want you to join the generations of immigrants and entrepreneurs and foreign investors who've discovered exactly what it means when we say we are a land of opportunity. That is not a myth. It's a proven fact. There are a lot of wonderful countries out there. But this is a place where you can do business, create great products, deliver great services, make money, and do good at the same time. So you should find out why there's no substitute for those proud words, made in America. And here's 3 more words. Select the USA. When you do, You'll find some of the world's best workers, some of the world's most innovative entrepreneurs. You'll find a government and a president who's committed to helping you create more good jobs.
À la conférence lancée, l'Amérique a besoin de vous, l'Amérique attend votre collaboration, l'Amérique attend votre partenariat. En un mot, il a conclu son discours, le président Barack Obama. Venez, l'Amérique est ouverte aux hommes d'affaires. Merci.
This is African Channel TV in Maryland State, and we're concerned about African development, and we want to know how important African community can come in United States as well to develop business here. First notice we did is that we do not really see African community here, and I spoke with some of our ambassadors in United States that was not aware of this conference. You think African people do not have nothing to bring in this country?
No, the fact is that we actually reached out quite regularly to the African business community, and we do have a number of African companies here, including sub-Saharan African companies from Nigeria, from Cameroon, from South Africa, of course. Well, you got to keep looking. I can assure you that one of the things we value is not investment from one particular market or another, but from the global investor community. And we know that African companies can succeed, in fact have succeeded here in the United States as much as companies from anywhere. Needs are met moving forward. In the United States, we want business to succeed, and that's what Select USA and this summit is all about. Thank you very much.
So I saw this is a very
Oui, tout à l'heure, donc je posais la question à notre interlocuteur pour lui demander que nous avons remarqué déjà l'absence des pays africains à ce sommet. Nous n'avons pas beaucoup vu, presque pas, et nous lui avons demandé s'il pensait que l'Afrique n'avait rien à apporter aux États-Unis, que nous avions parlé à certains de nos ambassadeurs qui n'étaient même pas au courant que ce sommet avait lieu ici. Alors il nous a dit non, l'Amérique a bien sûr informé tous les pays et qu'ils pensent que s'ils ne sont pas là, c'est pour des raisons indépendantes de leur volonté, mais que tout le monde avait été informé. C'est dans le directeur organisateur de ce sommet que nous avons interviewé il y a quelques minutes parce que, comme nous vous avons dit, nous avons constaté pas beaucoup d'Africains ici, presque pas, et il était question pour nous de demander pourquoi cette absence aiguë, et monsieur le directeur Aaron nous a dit tous les pays du monde étaient informés, s'ils ne sont pas venus ou s'ils sont peu, c'est indépendant de leur volonté. Doudou Dekle ici, à Washington, D.C., pour le sommet 2013 des hommes d'affaires investisseurs du monde entier. Nous allons laisser la parole à nos collaborateurs de la télévision chinoise qui sont à côté de nous, de continuer leur interview. C'était tout pour cette cérémonie. Deuxième partie demain. Entrée avec le secrétaire du ministère des Relations extérieures, John Kerry, et la visite des tentes. Nous restons connectés. Rendez-vous demain. Au revoir. Nous vous laissons en contact de notre collaborateur de la télévision chinoise. Au revoir. Doudou Dekle Ngule à l'appareil. Bye.
And expanded to be even more responsive to the business community, but also the U.S. economic development community. After all, the point of this event is to make sure that businesses can meet with U.S. economic development organizations. That's the most important connections, and we're seeing a lot of that today already. This is going to be a great two-day event.
So I saw there's a cooperation between individual entrepreneurs and economic development professionals, and also officials from the government. So this is like a three-party cooperation in between. What do you think of the challenges or opportunities for Chinese investors or entrepreneurs to invest in the U.S.? What are the most profitable sectors, or what's the most promising sectors?
Well, Chinese investment, it's important to remember, is still at a relatively low level compared to our traditional investor nations. And so companies from around the world, of course, have been investing in the United States for hundreds of years. We really do represent unequivocally the most open economy on earth. but the position from Chinese industry has been relatively small. So Chinese companies are still learning the ropes, really. There's some great examples. I mentioned some of them earlier. Thankfully, there are countless other success stories from Chinese industry in the United States. But they're still learning. And so I think the opportunities for Chinese industry in the United States are no different than the opportunities for European industry in the United States, or Japanese or Mexican industry in the United States, or for homegrown American industry here, right here at home. And that is an unparalleled opportunity to succeed. The resources from government, mixing, of course, just setting the stage, mixing with the innovative entrepreneurial spirit of companies, and then these economic development organizations that do the hand-holding, last mile, making sure that companies land well, succeed, and what we call aftercare, that their needs...
Là, Boucan! Wayo, wayo! Wayo, wayo! Le feu est vert! Il faut avancer, faut pas reculer, il faut toujours foncer. Le feu est vert! Il va au pouvoir, faut pas t'arrêter, les jaloux vont regretter. Continue, garde ta soif, le succès n'a pas de secret. Il suffit de travailler dur, ne pas te décourager. Dans la vie, mon ami, tu retrouveras des obstacles. Donc pay attention to that, à chaque fois pour ton cri de guerre. Wayo, wayo, tu retrouveras tes forces. Wayo, wayo, ton succès dépend de toi. Wayo, wayo, finis-tu de me compter, continue de tenter ta chance. Le il faut avancer, faut pas reculer, il faut toujours foncer. Le il va au pouvoir, faut pas t'arrêter, les jaloux vont regretter. Ils te voient, fais ton malin, ils ne connaissent pas ton histoire. Dans la vie, chacun fait sa part. You got the green light, hey. Mon ami, fais ta part, ne regarde pas ce qu'ils font. Dans la vie, tu dois faire ta part et n'oublie pas ton cri de guerre. Wayo, wayo, tu retrouveras tes forces, succès dépend de toi. Wayo, wayo.